It's a historic Friday. Everybody's going to think it's about the Hawkeyes. Is this on? Test, test, test. We are live. You are looking live at the Two Brothers Podcast.
You're definitely live. I was just we had a little snafu with some X account, so I had to change it, move it. I don't think we're live on that.
Yeah, you're doing the technical behind-the-scenes stuff here. We're live, and we got to get going because I got stuff to do today. But how about the fact that we've been lifelong fans of just sports, and this is what's brought us to this moment. But what TJ figured out at Iowa State and now what Ben is doing at Iowa, this isn't what we were going to talk about today because we got a huge announcement. We're going to hold on to that. But Brandon, in the short...
saving this announcement for 3 months.
We've been saving it actually for about 2 years.
Yeah.
And I just, all I got to do is find out if Abba Car Garage will let Bill McCroskey in to look at the car museum, and then we'll sell a couple more tables. But that will push back. But honestly, as much as you grew up as a kid and you love your colleges, what's happening right now at Iowa and Iowa State's really interesting. I don't know, when you look at what Signetti did and you look at what TJ, I really think figured it out. But obviously, I know that Ben McCollum knew that his window with these tough kids, that he could take those kids. And as a coach, you know this too. And a lot of my high school football coaches that are really standing behind us in the project we're doing for this DeJean Award. Great to see Cooper there last night. I'm all over the place, but what they've been able to do.
I don't know what to do with my hands. I don't know what to say.
What TJ has done at Iowa State is really incredible because, Brandon, they've brought in that old Eustace, and even Ben has done it, that this is going to be a tough team. This is what we're going to do. But I'm going to take all these other factors. Okay, you need money. You got this. That's all right. Are you fitting in our system? This is what we're going to do. If you don't, it doesn't work out. But to understand, to raise your level at the end of the year, I think that's what Ben figured out when he was coaching at D2 and at Drake, is like, don't take a win or loss too serious. And beating Nebraska wasn't that big of a deal. I mean, they're about even. And in the last 4 minutes of that game, they had a series on offense, Brandon, where they moved the ball and they didn't score, but they moved the ball.
Yeah, it was unbelievable.
And they didn't score. And I'm like, they're going to win. They're going to win this game. That was the moment. But everybody's figured out their role. And I just hope Iowa State does the same thing tonight. It's been special. I'd love to see what an iconic moment. Even though we're going to be talking about high school football, that was cool. So I didn't know what your take was.
No, it was unreal. And I have a whole little thing set up here for basketball because we weren't planning on going any basketball. We had planned to do this show, I think, back in December, early December. And then I didn't want to do it because I didn't want to have to deal with you. I didn't want to do it. We've just been busy. I don't even know how to really put it in words, how busy I have been, how busy we've been, how busy Bing Bang is. And so it's been this weird kind of where do you find time? And so then we anticipated you can find time on Wednesday afternoons, or you can find time. That's about the only day I have free to do anything is Wednesday afternoon. So I was like, we can find time. We can do this podcast. We can do these things. We can do all this. And then probably the two people that are probably the worst morning people in the world, here we are at 8:30 on a Friday, the day after the Hawkeyes make the Elite Eight. And we're
to make the biggest announcement we've been waiting to make forever. So, but
that's life. That's where we're at.
And we're live on all these social mediums right now.
Yeah, and I got my phone's blowing up. People are texting. People are sending messages. Whatever. I can't. We got to focus.
We got to focus because I actually, Brandon,
you have to work today.
The great things that you've done since you started the company have been kind of crazy because the business side is exciting for what you've accomplished, and it was all based on the fact. I think one of the things that we had a high school football coach that really. I was telling the guys from Mid-States yesterday, and they're one of the people we're trying to get, aboard. They're up there in Nevada. It's an amazing company. But I was like, I don't know what I'd be doing right now if I didn't have we love sports, but how could we find a standard, to care about it and actually have that drive to be like, I got to do this because this is important. And so I think these high school football coaches set the stage, the bedrock for communities across the state. And if we didn't have that, I mean, yeah, I don't know for sure what I'd be doing. So that's why we're here. And that's the coolest part. It does get us out of bed, but it's built your business up. So we know that we have to do certain things that raise that standard. And you've taken it to a different level.
We can't just quite be back porch, right? That's who we would be. We would not be out of bed till 11 every day. We would have watched Chris Hassel and Andrew Downs last night. And like 100% in the Iowa instant reaction that they did. Like,
yeah.
I've got a text message group going, with old media people, and it's just funny. Like, I probably wouldn't have slept last night if I didn't actually have a life.
Yeah.
Like have to do, because I would have been locked in. So, I mean, even last night, here's my night last night. I tried to take as many calls as I possibly could right up until the moment that Grayson's middle school game against Indian Rocks, which is a little rival down here, and some kids that I've coached and stuff on the other team. And so then I'm like, I'm going to that game. So I was on a call at like 4 o'clock. Game was supposed to start at 4:15. Game started at 3:45. I'm still at a call at 4 o'clock. And so I kicked off the meeting. It was the most douchebag meeting I've ever been a part of, like that for me, because I did the things that I just make fun of people for. Like, I kicked off the meeting. I introduced both people, and I said, "See you later. I'm going to the game," and I just left. I didn't even give them a chance to respond. I was like, "What a doucher!" But I was out. I went to Grayson's game. They won like 13-3 last night.
Yeah, I haven't heard any of that, so that's cool.
Yeah, I think he was 2 for 3 again. I think he's hitting like 630 for the year in JV or in middle school.
Whatever. Wait till I scout him. He won't get a hit.
I think that would be the case. But and so his head's bigger than he can't even fit out the door when he leaves in the morning. And so having fun, having a great year. His Keswick team's awesome. Bunch of really good kids all together. Like, it's gonna be a fun group. And then we had to rush over to the brand new $98 million sports complex that Bailey gets to practice out of, which is Sproul's Horizon here in Pinellas Park in St. Petersburg, Florida. So we run over there. We got a scrimmage last night, so we're scrimmaging. We had a hard time finding an umpire for our scrimmage, which we can umpire, but they have the automatic ball strike system at the field. I didn't even take a video last night. Like, I was that kind of.
They have it at the field? You can just turn it on?
Yeah, I didn't want to look at my phone last night because the game started at 7:30. Our scrimmage started at 7:30. So I'm like, I can't look. But I wanted to like be like kind of social media guy and video it and everything.
You need a phone like that, like our buddy Josh has, where it's not like it's
Turner phone, not connected to the internet phone. So anyway, they set the balls and strike the ABS system up yesterday at the complex.
I'd love to see that.
It's a Musco system. Musco's like God. Yep, we're coming after you, Musco. But
Musco.
So Musco was setting it up. They were on the phone with Musco setting it up, and it is unreal. So it's over a loudspeaker. It's got cameras. It's got everything.
Tells you ball and strike?
Yep. Kid pitches it. Ball.
This is exactly what I was talking to Huddle about yesterday. They are phenomenal too. This stuff is scary because, and the one thing to eliminate showcase altogether, because you'll have all that information, exactly what happens, what their ball and strike percentage, swing percentage was, what their velo rate. I mean, coaches are going to, we just talked about TJ and Ben, right? The coaches that are going to engineer into this system and see this system and then find kids and go, we want you to be tough. Then they can do their culture things once they see the numbers. It's crazy.
And so it's just unreal. Like, and it calculated where the girls top of her strike zone, the bottom of her strike zone, if it was inside.
It can match that when they get up there.
It was money. It was perfect. And
I want that. I think I'd win a lot more games. I would have won a lot more games if I'd have had that.
It was, and the cool part is even like a pitch and a swing, it called ball or strike for that. Because it's just calling where the ball crosses the plate. Yeah. So like if you swing at a bad pitch and it's in the dirt, or like say it's like a pitch that's close, but you're like, I gotta swing. It will say like right when you strike out, you swing and miss on an outside corner, ball. It was
so you gotta have the ump there
it was so cool. It was
to have that in their ear. To have that in the ear of the umpire would just be huge.
So Grayson and his buddy Parker, who is a 8th grader brother on the team, they umped the bases and kept the count and stuff. And so it was pretty remarkable. It was one of those moments where you're just like, wow, like how much could you learn from a system like this? So it was cool. So we did that.
And the fact that it works, Brandon, I mean, that's the thing. Like I got Rapsodo and I think it's probably a great product, but I spent, 5 to 10 grand on it for our high school program to use in the off season. And it had a bad chip in it. It just didn't, if that thing would have plugged in and it had worked that day, I would have been. So,
Well,
I mean, now
the Rapsodo stuff's awesome. It's just the operator that's the issue.
Yeah, whatever. I'm freaking super talented in that arena, so it wasn't that. But yeah, I mean, it wasn't clicking. It wasn't even. So we sent it back for repair. Yeah, and the customer service at that time for that company. I'm sure it's a great company. It's just we had a bad experience with it. But
yeah, so it's cool. The automated ball strikes, we did that. That was something I was not ready for yesterday.
What's the company?
It's Musco.
Oh, the Musco's got doing it all.
Yeah, so like how you turn on the lights and everything. Musco has all that system for every field all over the world. It's just tapped into that whole system.
Yeah, Musco.
So it was remarkable. It was cool. It was something that was fun. Also something I wasn't ready to full on bring to the world, but there we did it. Yeah. So we did that, and then we got back home. I think scrimmage was from like 7 to 8:30. We got back to our house about 9:15. So the game was pretty much over when we got home. And so we then had to watch the game at 9:15. So my phone then went somewhere else, and we watched the whole game not knowing anything.
Yeah.
So I think we wrapped the game about 11 o'clock. So I'm in Hawkeye hangover right now. And it was cool. All right. So before we jump into some amazing high school football news, let's jump in. It is unbelievable what Hawks and Cyclones are doing in basketball right now.
Yeah.
So it made me think last night, who is your Mount Rushmore for Iowa basketball?
Oh, you're doing Mount Rushmore. I was thinking like if I was putting a team together, like I'd have like at Iowa State, I'd have like Cantrell Horton.
No, you can't go Iowa State. I said Iowa. Stay on focus.
Well, we got to do both. I mean,
we're doing both. The Hawkeyes won. Iowa State's waiting.
My Mount Rushmore would be different because I thought you were talking about team.
You were putting 5 players on a court.
Well, I was putting the team together. I had Freddie Brown and Bobby Hansen, and I had, I might have some dudes coming off the bench that could sling it. But you want me to do my top 5 because you got to have Ryan Bowen and Reggie Evans in there if you're building a team. But you're saying Mount Rushmore. I mean,
yeah,
for sure.
I love doing this to you where I give you a little information and then I pull the carpet out from under you and then make you have to do something else. So that's what we're doing.
Yeah, it's really interesting because I would never have put Sturts on there at all. And the thing is, though, that legacy matters, and he's only been there a year. And if he does what he's able to do, there's going to be an argument for that. Because obviously, like when you think of Iowa sports, you're going to have Dan Gable, but Caitlin Clark's on there too, right? And it doesn't matter that she's modern. It's just real. Like, Ronnie Lester is for sure on this. No questions asked. If he was healthy, he might have been one of the best Hawkeye players to ever play. Luka Garza's not on mine. I mean, Caitlin Clark's on there. Luka Garza's, we had too many. Luka's a good player. He's a hard worker. But, I mean, Craftsison, Waite, Stokes, Payne, we had guys that you would take that would be able to, especially in this modern day. And I mean, look at what the young man last night's doing. I mean, is he a better player than Garza for tournament basketball? I think he is.
Possibly, right?
He's more athletic. Garza would have been dominant for us in the the 80s or whatever. But I'm not going to get into that. I'm sorry. I'll stick with it.
I think you could debate it every which different direction, right? Like I was messing around with it, so then I threw it all into a system last night. I was like, who would be my top 4? And
Bobby Hansen.
I had Bobby Hansen. I have Jeff Moe. I had BJ Armstrong.
Yeah, Jeff Moe, BJ. Yeah.
Jeff Moe was my guy. So like I was putting him on the list no matter what. And then when I was trying to get it to 4, I was like, it's probably definitely Roy Marble, right?
Yeah.
It's probably definitely Ronnie Lester. And then Garza, probably in the modern era, a lot of people would put him there. Yeah. And so then Garza was the guy I was like, there's a lot of different people you could put there. Caitlin Clark's on it no matter what.
Chris Street's probably If I'm doing it, I mean, Christopher's going to be there. I think he might have been the best, pure basketball player we had, and was the one that was so raw that just still had some upside. And it wasn't just about his passing. But Chris Kingsbury, right?
Oh yeah, I forgot about.
He wouldn't be on there, but he'd be on the team, right? But I'm just talking about, you were talking about guys that you kind of loved when you said Jeff Moe, but Kevin Gamble. There's so
Joey
many.
Galloway.
Yeah, but
Like there
Andre,
was there was a game that me and you went to. Probably it was Iowa, Missouri. Man, it'd probably been 30 years ago now. And you were working at Channel 5, and we were sitting there, and it was Joey Galloway, and it was funny. Like you have these moments and these things. So everybody's probably going to resonate with Mount Rushmore of Iowa basketball, especially with
was
it
that
right
the
now.
Sweet 16 team, Brandon? Would that have been the same year? That was at Davis's last year that we went up there, and Norm Stewart was yelling chicken crap at every.
Yeah, you guys are all chicken crap.
It might have been Dino Oliver and Koch and that group, Bauer and Settles. I don't know.
Well, Settles he was the other one last night that I was like, man, he'd have to be really high on this list.
Well, I'm just going to be before we move to Iowa State. I wanted to tell you that I think Sturtz is a great player. I think that he's in a system, and I'm going to give this coach a lot of credit for what's happening right now, and for.
I like where you went earlier though with McCollum is very Kurt Signetti.
Yeah, like, and I mean, I think TJ is doing it. TJ was doing it before, maybe even before Signetti. He saw it. But if Andre Woolridge would have been at Northwest Missouri State with, Ben, we'd be in the same position. I mean, Andre did the same. This is the same player, Andre Woolridge. Andre even just had a little more sizzle, but this is the same player that bought in and loved. And this is what you see out of Cantrell Horton and Taman Lipsky and all these kids that are successful in programs across the country, but they're just all in. I mean, this isn't easy for Sturtz. What he's had to go through with this coach is not easy.
No,
it's been hard. And at the end of that game, he was saying, I love this man. He's my ride or die. And I'm like, Ben's been hard on him.
Oh my goodness, yeah.
He had been hard on him.
In a way, like I've seen it a lot lately with my kids growing up. Kids can't be coached right now. Like it is hard for coaches to coach kids the way kids need coached right now, because our world it's hard to let a coach because you want to, as a parent, you want to kind of like isolate, cater to, not allow that kid to fail, all these things. And
yeah,
I think the thing that's been really special with Bennett Sturtz is he has got to failure so many times, and he's found a way to continue to achieve above his ceiling.
Yep. And that's really the whole thing with sports. And that's why these models that Signetti and TJ and what Ben are doing is they're taking people that are getting paid now, and they all have different structures and they all come from different backgrounds. But when they walk in the door, it's like, this is what we're doing. And this is why so if you can't handle this, so I think they've figured that out. And I think it's been tough for people to cater to these people. And then, I want more money, or I'm not doing this, or we got to work that hard. I didn't expect that. So kudos to those coaches for bringing the old school, new school, and figuring it out, because it's hard.
It's super hard. And so it's to wrap up Mount Rushmore of Iowa basketball. I think the thing that I found funny and, kind of in this whole kind of everything moment, like it was hilarious that Fulgaris, he might be a Hawkeye legend after the last couple of weeks.
Are you kidding me? I mean, they're creating 3 or 4 legends on this team.
I know. And then Bennett Sturtz, it's unbelievable. But Fulgaris, I think the thing I've probably come to love about him over the last 3 weeks is he's the guy. You could even see it on everybody's face when he was down there and potentially throw a punch. Whatever happened at the bottom of that Gator battle, I think he's the guy that's just scary competitor. In practice, at the ping pong table,
maybe does some weird stuff. You're like, dude, calm down.
Yeah, and he's gonna outwork everybody. And so when he was at the bottom of that pile, I think they were like, oh crap, this poor Condon kid might be done for.
Yeah.
Who knows what happened. So, but to see, we're working on it. We got next, Fulgaris and Sturtz, Saturday night,
Yeah,
Who knows?
and players on this team are going to earn a right to be on, all-time teams if they take Iowa to the other level. That Gamble and Kevin Gamble and Horton and Marble, that team was so special the last time they went to the Elite Eight, but the Final Four team is the one that resonates with me. But I'm old, so
You are
and
old.
and then the downtown Freddie Browns and those guys. There's so many great players. But
And
did you make
then
one for Iowa State or not?
I'm just a Hawkeye guy.
You didn't
Like
make one for Iowa State, so why are you doing that? Oh, here you go. So I mean, who do you got up there? Well, obviously Tinsley's going to be there. Yeah. I mean,
so
and
I
some
struggle.
this is pretty cool actually. I'm pretty much I had Grayer. I don't have Barry Stevens and Jeff Grayer up there. I got to have Hornacek, and the Rolling Rocket is right in the middle. I mean, this whole thing is Gary Thompson. This is Phillips 66 brought to you by.
Yeah.
I the Mount Rushmore. That's pretty cool that it came up with that. So how'd you get the names? Were those your names or did that get generated?
So I put my names in first, and then it gave me some feedback because I had Hoiberg, Pfizer, and I had somebody else on my first list, and then it kind of pushed me back. Like I didn't have Halliburton because Halliburton's career at Iowa State wasn't, but what he's done post Iowa State and kind of with Iowa State, I felt like
puts him on there.
I had Niang, I had Hoiberg, Tinsley, Pfizer, and Niang. I didn't have Halliburton. And then I kind of thought Halliburton is really kind of to Iowa State what Caitlin Clark has done to Iowa. He's just been able to just open up so many different things. He's such a cool human being. Like you can just see that he's just so cool about what he can do in so many different aspects. The way he always puts Iowa State first. And I think we were talking about the other day, but Caitlin Clark did a crossover where she was the photographer for the Indiana Pacers.
Yeah.
And her and Halliburton are having fun, and she's posting a Halliburton photo she took with the 70 to 200 lens too close, and all this stuff. And then she edited it, and it was an amazing photo. And then the Pacers photographer is like, "Could you just not be good at something, please, Caitlin?" And so I see Halliburton, I see Caitlin both just really raising the tide of everything Iowa.
That's a good point. And I think when you really put these down, these would really be further discussions, on a rainy day to decide. I think what resonates for me is, it's a different animal what Tyrese has done, versus what Taman's doing right now, and what those guys that were there all 4 years, just making that as impressions on the fans, and then success while they're there versus success after. So there's so many different dynamics, and Fred with Julius Mikalik and that group, it was just he was successful in high school. He was successful when he was at Iowa State. They made some runs. They had Johnny Orr, coach. They had it all, and that's something that we can't explain to a kid, even my kids, like Drew and my son-in-law and Kathleen, they watch basketball, they understand it, but they don't understand Johnny Orr,
No,
so
it was a different time, a different era.
Yeah. And that is so special. When we go back to talking about, some of those special coaches, and those special players that had that impact and were there. And that's why Bobby Hansen, when you were talking about the Iowa, has to be on there, because he wasn't just a great player on those teams. The thing I love most about Bobby Hansen was if he missed a basket, whoever got the rebound for the other team was going to get fouled. So I love that about him. But, but he played with Michael Jordan, you guys. He's been the play-by-play. He's been the color guy for the Hawks ever since. He's Mount Rushmore. Gary Thompson's Mount Rushmore, on this. So it's of no argument. The Rolling Rocket, is in the middle of this thing. So those are things that I think can't be overlooked.
Some other Iowa State ones I had were Jeff Hornacek, Melvin Idjum, Monte Morris,
Grayer, Stevens. I mean, Stevens still
Willoughby, Kelvin Cato, Royce White. You start, talking about people that had huge impacts, and things like that. I was just like, wow, this is kind of fun when I got into it. And then I was like, oh crap, if we do this today, we might not cover anything else. We're just going to do
Yeah.
Mount Rushmore of Iowa and Iowa State basketball. So a fun thing, especially Iowa State's going to go take care of business tonight. I did schedule on our company calendars, on our Bing Bang company calendars for all of our diehard Cyclone fans. I scheduled a what do I call it on our?
Oh, did you schedule a meeting?
I scheduled a meeting from 2:30 to 6 p.m. today that is called ISU nap time. So I put it on like Eric, Phil, Mark. I put it on a bunch of the Cyclone people's calendars. So then they knew that they could go take their nap. They could be ready to go tonight and see the Cyclone victory, which will be amazing.
Yeah, no kidding. Well, we better move on, huh?
We better. Let me get this off the screen here. If I can figure out how to do that. There we go.
You want me to add this other thing to the stage? You want to go right to it or what?
I think we're time to roll into today's big announcement.
Iowa Hawkeye football.
So this is just a little tease. Most people know it's coming, right?
April 12th.
The very best you can be with a guy.
Ed Thomas.
Well, I mean, that's why we're here. Our high school football coaches.
It's been easy for you to see the importance of our football program
Emmitsburg.
to our community.
That night at
Iowa
Emmitsburg was
Hawkeye
pretty
football
cool.
recruit Cooper DeJean took over. He leads his team to a miraculous comeback.
So when
that will
Cooper
not soon
wanted
be
us to
forgotten.
design the
Poor
trophy,
Van Meter.
yeah, it was for this play. And Brian Gordon and his son was on the field there. He's been a big help with Bound.
I don't know what I would.
I think when we do
I'm glad we got the chance to play.
when we have Cooper there interviewing these 7 captains, we might have it the Bound hot seat, right? You know, Cooper DeJean's coming to town April 12th. One of the things that we're doing here is just through the Iowa Football Coaches Association is we're just elevating the, our great high schools, which, start out with great communities and football programs that elevate all sports, including the stuff that's happening in basketball. To be honest, we got to have the football there to get things started. And otherwise, we're going to probably lose our sense of community. So that's really the idea behind this. And then we've got partners like CLE, and we're doing it out at Aubaugh's. We got food coming in. We got production. So we're spending, a lot of investment for this event, and it's something that we want to make. It's going to be different. It's just like we were talking about with Signetti and our basketball coaches. We're going to have some old school things in there, but you got to think different. You got to promote. And the 7 captains that were voted on by the IFCA have been voted on as the top 3 in the state. And so one of them is going to get the Cooper DeJean Trophy.
One of those 7 will win it that night, right? We don't know the winner. We don't even know the winner. I'm
the only one. I'm the only one that can actually look at the.
Do you know the winner already?
No, I Bob's Custom Trophies put the trophy together, and then Brent Butcher. We're going to Jesse and I are getting ready to leave for the Iowa High School Athletic Directors Hall of Fame event this weekend in Iowa City. I messaged Marv Cook, so hopefully I'll see him over there too. But we've got to. Butch was like, "Hey, do you know the number 1? Because we're going to do banners, right? At the Talons clubhouse, we're going to do all these special things. By the way, we got the Cooper Corner, some graphic work going there. It's going to be really cool. But
Maybe
I'm like,
I'm afraid out of my head.
I'm afraid to tell anybody who the winner is.
No,
so
I'm
not. So I don't know what their time to. So I don't know. If
I don't even want to know the winner until I see him walk up on stage.
But I wonder if we just do that banner post award and just have the other banners.
No, we're gonna have all the banners are gonna be the same.
Yeah,
and all 7 kids will have banners, and then boom, we aren't telling anybody who the winner is.
So we'll give that banner later, post awards. Okay.
Yep.
So I'm going to tell Butch, just make the 7 captains, and we'll talk to him. But
I need to respond to that email, by the way, so then I can tell him that. But
so it's going to be a great event. I don't know how to put it all into words, but we're also going to be trying to stream it and doing some great things. We've got, like I said, Jesse's been doing this Dome Dynasty stuff with us for 10 years. We've got all this great content. We had a young man from Pleasantville, Wilk, help us. We still got some editing to do and some prep for the run of show, but Cooper DeJean, as soon as we came up with the concept, no strings attached. We talked to his head football coach, and he got to Jason, the dad, and Cooper just said, "You gonna do this trophy after me? Sweet." That was his initial, and I know that now that he's busy and all that, to have him come back and give back to the Iowa Football Coaches Association to champion this cause. These 7 athletes are going to get to be with Cooper that night, their families. We're working on getting a lot of the community involved. So it's going to be pretty special, and to do it at a place like the clubhouse at the Talons of Tuscany it's a kind of a dream thing, but we're going to bring it that night. It's going to be fast.
And I think it's one of those things too, where like this has been in the works for years. This is 25 years of Dave Bingham's legacy, Dave Bingham's care, thought for kids, for high school sports, for football in Iowa, and all that passion and love's going to come out in an event on, April 12th. And, I think I have kind of that same goosebumpy feeling about this that I had the first time we debuted, touchdown in the Heartland for, the city of Parkersburg and everything.
Yeah.
And I have that same kind of feel that the first time you did Dome Dynasty Project at the Iowa Hall of Pride, and so, yes, I'm a part of this. Yes, Brandon will be a part of this, but this has been, really this is something you are really proud of. This is something that you were going to run through any brick wall to make this happen, and it's happening. And Cooper will be at this event to give out the DeJean Award. And so the Iowa Football Coaches Association, boom, here's the DeJean Award that he's going to give out. And I don't think it can happen at a better time, right? Like Iowa State basketball and things happening, that are just amazing in our state. And what Cooper's been able to do is very similar to Tyrese Halliburton, very similar to Caitlin Clark. They're elevating and raising the tide of everything around us. And when I see Cooper at this event and I see him a part of it, ultimately this stands for who he is. And what I mean by that is Cooper was a small town kid that probably could have went to college in 4 different sports. And it's hard as a small town kid to decide, should I focus on this? Should I do this? Should I be this? And the should have, would have, could have's come out of everywhere. But what Cooper did to isolate himself was he just went and was a competitor. He was an athlete in everything he did. And because of that, he is now on the biggest stage playing football for the Philadelphia Eagles. And that's because of that small town work ethic. That's because he didn't let the noise take over. He just showed up as Cooper DeJean everywhere he went. And that's who he continues to be. And I think that's why, the world has fell in love with him, because he's just such a, down home dude that you could just sit and, play bags at a tailgate for Iowa basketball probably last night. And then the next thing he's going to be dunking on you. And you're like, what's going on, dude? And so it's just fun to see all that come to life.
The thing for me too with this that's most important is, we're trying to champion the every Iowa high school football program in the state, every community. And I look at all of our successful, from Jay Burwanger won the first Heisman trophies from Dubuque, Iowa. There is a sense of community in our state, which I'm really proud of, and it still gives me goosebumps. I get it from, Ed Thomas, Dwayne Twait, Butch Peterson, our high school coach, John Danks. We get it from, still get it from Brad Zelinovich. We still get it from Jerry Pizzetti. These are the things.
Maybe Tommy Wilson.
Yeah, we've got, the list goes on and on. The Iowa Football Coaches Association trust us to keep promoting their sport and to keep highlighting it in a positive manner. And that's what I will do until the day I die. I've got 500,000 hours of archives behind it to do that. But the goosebumps, what are you going to do? Why did we go do the Ed Thomas thing? People were like, I remember when you and Angel were like, this is really cool. You should do something with this. I'm like, yeah, we're doing something with this. I don't know what we're doing. I don't know why we're doing this, but we're doing it. And
you're going to go to Conrad and shoot this game. And I'm like,
yeah.
What am I going to Conrad for? Am I going to go to that place or what?
So I don't know if we're going to, we've already spent money out of our own pocket for this event and we might lose money on it, but we want you to be a part of it. if you love high school football and you love Iowa, Cooper's coming to town. He's coming no strings attached. He's not asking for a thing. He just wants to promote what's happening in our state. And every time I wondered how are we going to get this done, I kept hearing Ed go, "Yeah, this is good. Hey, come to my house. I'm moving in. We're moving back. Come, show what's going on in our state. Show the good things that are happening. We got to go see, you know, Aaron's kids in the front yard with him. There's things happening that we are creating bedrock. And these 7 kids, I don't even know if we have time to highlight them. I know I got to get ready to go.
So Aaron's kids were, throwing rocks, and now they're beating the Pleasantville Trojans in a district final game. I mean, that's the full circle of life, and I think that's what this is.
Can you believe that was Owen? I mean,
I was crazy when you think about it.
And then Aaron and Trevin, he had to sing the national anthem at the wrestling tournament, and then he said, "I'll be there." And I saw him in the hallway, and he was kind of like arguing a call when, he thought Pleasantville fouled somebody, and I was like, "Hey, man, you can't be over there like going against the Trojans." But him and Owen both got to.
That was a good basketball game. You get back to Iowa high school sports and the Grundy Center Pleasantville district final or whatever that was. See Grundy Center to go to the state tournament, watching a little
15 years from now, 20 years from now, Jervosky, Braylon, Owen Thomas. It's just going to keep rolling. There's going to be stories, and people aren't going to know. Like, Caden Klein is from Newton. Yeah, he's from Newton. Yeah, watch him.
I think the thing that I had to stop and really realize and understand through this project that's really made me, pause and smile has been, I don't know that we understand what we've been blessed with. So Dave, Brandon, Bing Bang, Dome Dynasty, Jesse, we get a backstage pass to life with what we do with cameras, with what we do with mics, with what we do with human beings in our business world. And a lot of people trust us a lot to not make them look like fools.
Well, they know we're doing the same thing that we've done in sports in the business side too. And that's the coolest thing, because we're just like, it'll be fine. Trust us.
And it's just been interesting to realize we have to continue to tell these stories. We have to continue to harvest these. We have to continue to bring these to light, and we have to do it in a way that people can trust us, athletes can trust us, coaches can trust us. And then in a crazy world we live in the AI generated world, we have to do it in a way that is authentic and truly these kids. And so, let's walk through real quick. So Sunday,
as we created this graphic with Cooper AI'd right there. They put the Falcons in UNI all purple.
So the DeJean event, April 12th, Sunday, April 12th, at the Talons of Tuscany in Ankeny, Iowa.
At the clubhouse, baby.
Doors open at 6 p.m.
It's going to be earlier than that. With social hours going to start at 4. But yeah, this is good detail.
Oh, geez, you're going way early. I'm still gonna be in bed. I don't know what you're talking about.
No, we're gonna have to adjust the times, but everybody's got that information. But the most important thing is they've got to contact us now. We're gonna start. They've done a great job at Bound. Brian Gordon's done a great job. If you just go to Bound, and you just search DeJean, there'll be a place for you to register right now. But we only have limited seats left, so we're pushing to like 15 or 20 people right now. And if we get those, you're gonna be done. But if you want in, now's the time. Go to Bound, register, or call Brandon or I. We want you on here. You're supporting the Iowa Football Coaches Association in this event.
Yeah, reach out on social if you need to get a hold of somebody. Wherever you see this show on, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, X, reach out. We're happy to help you. We can get you into the right channel and make sure that happens. But
we're going to be pushing it.
So April 12th, the event. The other thing is so there's 7 kids coming with a potential chance to win this. The voting's all been done through the Iowa Football Coaches Association. So we have all that. But who are the 7 kids that are potentially coming to this?
Well, they're all going to be there. Yeah. I mean, can you see that?
No.
Wonder why.
What you got going here?
Yeah. I was just added it to the stage, but I don't know. Oh, I think it's because yours was still there, and you have power over me. Tate Force, one of the best all time to do it in 8-player, so he's going to be there. That's going to be your 8-player. I was going to go in order, but I don't have them in order, man. And then this guy, maybe one of the iconic these unknown. When you were in school, Brandon Myers at Prairie City, he's good. You're like, what? I'm like, whatever. I went to a game. He's like, he's okay. And then we watch him. We find these kids right before we even know they're awesome. And Jervoski's, I still got to ask Judd. Oh, did you mute me? Oh, no.
Yeah. No, I muted it. You're good.
Yeah. So we got to ask. There's Judd right there. Played basketball, going to golf at Stanford. That's another one that's going to be up for. I'm just going to go in the order that kid from Grundy Center, 3-time state champion in football. They didn't get it done this year, but wow. I mean, these are amazing. These are amazing athletes, and they all have their own story. Brock Bating, everybody said, even the folks, we talked to Jason DeJean and all them before the season. They're like, Kemper's really good. And Steinkamp had a great team, and Brock was just the guy running the show. So here's some of Wilkes' video right here. I don't know if it's any good. We got new shooters we're training out there, but yeah, I think Wilk did a pretty good job. So these are some different angles. That's Brock right there. He'll be representing the Class 2A captain. These captains are voted on by the Iowa Football Coaches Association, so really cool. And then this kid, Austin Welder, I don't know where he came from. He's always been good, but it was one of those things, Brandon, where the season just lined up at the end of the year.
It did.
And this kid, it's just like, it was like almost a Ben McCullum, Coach Kleiman had it figured out. It's like, okay, if we're going to win, we're just going to run the ball and we're going to have physical and we're not going to trick anybody. So he kind of went Ed Thomas.
Took 3A by a storm.
Yeah, and wow, Nevada, they've always been there, but he's going to be there for the Class 3A, which is really cool. This kid's probably, at one point, he got hurt, bad hamstring injury, kind of was amazing in track. Caden Klein at Newton, just phenomenal. But when we saw him early in the year, I was just like, look at these uniforms that the town came up with. Oh my God! Yeah,
that's awesome.
To bring a new school, this is what it means to raise the tide, Brandon.
Correct.
To do something special without any notoriety that's really meaningful. It pushes the brand of Newton, and at the same time, it doesn't take away from the past. It doesn't take away from Gilson and John Jenkins and
it raises everything. City of Newton,
Yeah.
That's a client of ours, and it's funny to see football raise community spirit, raise everything. I mean, these high school sports, they funnel and fuel a lot of things in small town Iowa. And
Martin, the receiver on the team, is like the one. He's like going to be like he's going to swim at college. It's just. And Klein, I think, is going to have another. There's just so many great players on this team, but yeah, he was voted the captain, and this is tough because there's so many good players in this class. For the IFCA to designate one of them a captain says a lot. But we're talking about passion, character, and performance. Those are the three things that we're talking about with all the other things. And so, congratulations! It's going to be great to have him there as well. And I think we've almost run through them all. Who do we got here? Oh, the thing about this first year is Reese Redding. The thing about this first year is these guys are all small. There's not a big guy. There's not Brock's pretty good size, but we got a lot of little bitty, guys with a chip on their. So it's almost a tribute to, the dynamite comes in small packages. So it's kind of cool.
I love everybody. All the 5A schools are like, he's the best player. He's the best player, just nonstop all year. So,
yeah. And the fact is, what Ian Middleton and what Dowling did at the end of the year was impressive. And Ian Middleton is a player of the ages for Dowling, what he meant to the program and the way that he honored that program. But this Liberty program has come out of nowhere. Chandler is amazing. Getting to meet him has been one of those cool things. He was at Iowa, obviously, before I started, full-time in '99 covering the Hawks. But this kid, there's something there like special. So really cool. Those are the 7 kids. I think we hit them all. I don't think I missed anybody, but hopefully I didn't. But
nope, I think we got them all. Let me see.
I got to give one shout out before I forget to Tara Williams. I'm going to be seeing her from Pleasant. She's the first one. Like, I got gear. You made it look like I was getting stuff.
I gave it to you for like Christmas, and it was really from
yeah. Like, I got something for Christmas. This came from Tara, and she probably gave it like, she's like, hey, give this to you guys, can wear this, but you couldn't fit in any of these things because they didn't have any in your size. But look at all this stuff I got from Pleasantville. So yeah, if you've got oh, look at this, it's sweet. So if you've got gear, you can let me know. I'll give you my address. We'll promote your schools on the show. And then maybe I'll give you a DeJean. If I see Tara, I might give her a DeJean quarter zip. And Brian Gordon, I'll be giving you one too for all the work that you've been doing for us. We'll get you. I got all kinds of stuff from Tara. Jeff Cook, was the AD there for 100 years, never gave me a thing. And the only other guy to ever give me anything from Pleasantville was Kent Horseman. We did the videos.
He did. You always had
he geared us up. So kudos, the #1 marketing expert in the city of Pleasantville right now, Tara Williams. Hey, thanks for that. I got all that gear. I have been saving it. I haven't even worn any of it. This hat's pretty sweet. Got the American flag on the back. But Cooper DeJean, it'll be cool because Jack's, I haven't talked to Jason and Katie for sure to confirm, but there will be room for Jax if he wants to come, and we'll bring Braylon and put them in the back. And if there's, any more superstar high school players next year that maybe want to win the DeJean Trophy next year, would that be cool to have like the next kids, back that like the juniors that are just sitting there going, okay, you guys.
Almost like our Mount Rushmore. We're next,
Yeah. So I'm super excited. We need support for this. The Iowa Football Coaches Association. We want to keep creating Dome Dynasty content. I'm not going to shy away from the fact that we want to raise more money for this in the years to come so that we can do great things for schools and communities and give back to those that need it. But we definitely got a few more tables to sell. So give us a holler. I know that we've got a list and we've got people on the line, and we about got it sold out. But yeah, we can take corporate sponsor too. Must go.
Anybody like that? So I think the only the thing. So let's walk through real quick to finalize everything. Here, I might even have a graphic. Let's pop this up. Here.
You got a graphic?
I might have one. Let's see if I can do this live and in action here.
We got some cool graphics too. We've got the T-shirts through a couple of our partners like Laser Graphics and ADI. So we appreciate them helping us put stuff together. Matthewson mini helmets. He's already put stickers on the helmets. He wants to give them to me this weekend. So we got cool stuff coming for the event.
Let me see if I pop this in here. Yeah. Boom.
Oh, yeah.
So there's the nominees right there. So I think the only one that we didn't have video for today that we'll double up some video for some Corbin Michaels, St. Ansgar.
Oh my God. I didn't load it in the show. Gosh.
Come on, Corbin. Corbin's probably the guy too. So
Corbin's freaking awesome. St. Ansgar. Yeah. This morning when I was loading, our thing is kind of small and I thought I loaded them all. I mean, I can still do it if you want. I mean, I can definitely load him as you're rapping. I'll bring him in.
Yeah. And so those are the nominees. Those are the 7 players that are up for the DeJean Award. So one of those 7 will walk away
with the trophy
Sunday, April 12th with the DeJean Trophy, which I've heard is amazing. I've not seen this trophy, but
well, it's going to be a continual work, right? Everything we did it in all of the graphics that we put together were in the name, image, and likeness of what Cooper really liked. And so him scoring that touchdown in his senior year, during COVID against Van Meter, obviously. And Van Meter knows like this is one of the things that if they win that game, what's their destiny? Because after that, they just, their program just even elevated even more. So I think that it was really hard. I've never went through this. So Bob's Custom Trophies, helped us through this process. It is hard to get your own exclusive trophy made. It is just it's difficult, but it's big. It's 1 inch bigger than the Heisman. So
Whoa.
yeah.
Here's our Corbin Michaels.
Look at that guy. You want to talk about
that's a football player.
Look
right
at him.
there.
He's clear over there on the right hand side. Like he will knock you out too. Like he's like 5'3". He is not very big. So he might be my favorite player in this thing. But look at him, man. He will knock you out too. He is a stud. So Coach Clevenger's got a good one. But yeah, we got a ton of highlights of him too. So that's gonna be really good.
So one of those 7 will walk away with the first ever DeJean Trophy, which will be pretty cool to see all that happen and come to life. It'll be interesting to see, what that's like when that happens.
Yeah, we've got to run a show, kind of got it put together. And so we're going to talk with Gates and CLE next week. And it's like, hey, this is going to be great. Brandon and I have a great idea. I've got it all in my head. So can you figure this out? Because if you don't figure it out and do it right, then it's going to be ruined. No, it'll be fine. The event's going to be easy. I did talk to Huddle yesterday, and I hadn't had a chance to talk to you. They're really jacked about streaming it. I think I gave you some details, but I think that's something that, Huddle is a part of this community of the state. And I think it's important for them to get this out to everybody. And between them and Bound, that's going to be super exciting to have that much coverage of what we're doing and those great people involved.
Pretty amazing. So the last thing I had, so we did that. We've got all that rocking.
Yeah, Jesse's going to be here in about 23 minutes. Hopefully
I have one last wrapper. So we've covered Mount Rushmore, Iowa State basketball. We've hit on the Cooper DeJean Award. We can't end the show without something pretty amazing. Let me see if I can pop this up here.
It's definitely not our normal show where we got all of our segments and everything.
Yeah, we have no segments. We're just rocking.
Too much going on.
We're just flying by the seat of our pants here, I think, a little bit. But let's see if I can pull this up. So it'll be pretty cool if this works here. Where's it at?
Yeah, I just keep hearing Ed Thomas every time we're doing something. I keep hearing, so we're doing some golf stuff here.
Yeah,
and then Masters Sunday is when we're doing the DeJean event. Masters Sunday, as the Masters is ending, we're going to be at that venue at the Talons of Tuscany, watching the end of the Masters. It's gonna be cool.
I have no idea if this will work. I've never tried to play this from here. So
what do you like, playing it from your own? Were you able to load it? Is this Bryson again? What's going on?
They want to launch the ball.
I don't know if I can turn it down this way. I just let the audio down. So they played roulette there to decide who's going to hit a golf ball out of their hotel room.
So is it golfers?
Yeah, these are golfers on like a trip. So the video was just like, what's the dumbest thing you've ever done from a hotel room? So that's glass in front of that pane and everything. Yeah. This guy
I'd be fine. I wouldn't get that. This is something you wouldn't be able to do. Jesse and I'd be okay.
No way.
Or were they all going to pitch in and pay for the glass?
I mean, I don't know what was going to happen if he didn't make it, but just what's the dumbest thing you've ever done in a hotel room? And so look at the camera setup. Like
he's back a little bit further than I thought. So it just depends on the distance, I guess. I'd have to see it.
It's just cool. Hilarious that like I came across.
Oh, because there's glass on the balcony and everything.
Yeah, there's glass everywhere.
Oh, so yeah, there's a lot more to that. I'd have to see it. So I'd be in to take the swing as long as everybody's in to help pay for any damage.
It'll be fine. It'll be fine.
Look at that guy behind the corner. They do have a lot of media there. A lot of. Just all the reactions of the reactions is pretty good. Yeah, that's pretty well. That's well done.
I just came across that, and I always like to try to end us with something fun or something I've seen.
So that was
online.
nobody. That was nobody famous. It's just some dudes.
I don't. Yeah, I saw it pop through my feed. I don't think it's anybody. I think it was just like a dude golf trip. Like, you know, it was like 2 foursomes probably, and they spun that tee, and whoever it landed on was the guy that had to hit the shot.
I think that that's something that we could do. We'd have to do something a lot simpler with our Kansas City road trip. We got such a good group of guys that goes down there with our media. So phenomenal.
Well, that is the Two Brothers podcast.
Yeah, I think we got to wrap it.
I think we might have to do this a little bit more often, but maybe we don't wait 6 months inside for the next show.
Well, yeah, maybe we don't have work to do, and then take me on like through a training program for a week, and yeah, we'll be fine. We'll be fine. Yeah, no, it's good. Good things coming all the way around. Appreciate everybody joining. Get dialed in to the banquet. We want you. If we haven't heard from you, or we've reached out to you, or I haven't even thought about contacting you, and you want to be part of this DeJean Trophy, it's going to be a historic event. Wouldn't you like to have been at the first Heisman Trophy presentation at Downtown Athletic Club to Jay Burwanger? This is it. Don't lie and say you were there. You gotta call us and get there.
April 12th, Talons of Tuscany, the DeJean.